Welcome to our preview of the 2023 baseball season as we count down to opening day with our head coaches. And very happy to have with us now UNC Asheville's Scott Friedholm. Scott, good morning to you.
Well, thanks for having me, Mark, and glad to be here.
Let's jump right into it. We're coming off of a third place finish in the Big South standings last year. So what if any, tweaks, adjustments, changes go into this year's planning, and what's the overall outlook or expectations for the Bulldogs?
Well, I think there's always tweaks and changes that you're going to make every year because there's only one team that's truly satisfied at the end of the season, at least in the Big South. And obviously, congrats to Campbell again on last year winning it. But the biggest difference for us and for our program and for our guys this year is the expectation is now different. And it's always been an expectation of coaches as the coaches of what we want. But I truly believe that after last year and our guys knowing now that we can compete at that level, their expectation has changed. So I'm curious and excited to see how they handle that change. It's kind of the first time in the 7 or 8 years that I've been here that the guys truly believe it as well. So we're excited about that. But we've had some key people leave and graduate, but we brought in some new freshmen and we're able to hit the transfer portal. We got 2 new transfers that came in as well. So we're excited to see how they blend and mend with the guys that are coming back.
Well, that sounds good. So let's go ahead and step up to the plate and talk about your lineup for a bit. Robbie Burnett is one of the top returners. What are you expecting from him, and who else are going to be your top producers, you think, at the plate?
Yeah. Really, we hope that Robbie doesn't expect anything more, or that he doesn't feel that we expect anything more from what he's done in the past. What he has done his freshman year is really good. And we want him to have that type of season again. We don't want him to have that added pressure. What makes Robbie so good is the work ethic that he has. He's out there every single day, taking extra ground balls, taking extra swings. The man got a 4.0 last year as a freshman in the classroom. He's well over a 3.7, I believe, right now after the first semester. So he just gets after it in all phases, in the weight room, the whole 9 yards. So what we want is more people to follow his work ethic, and guys have stepped up and done that. Guys like Cam Johnson and Ty Kaufman and Dylan Bako, those guys that are returning that are going to be at the top of our order, and hopefully getting on base for guys like Tylen Reese and Michael Groves.
Well, that takes care of one side of things because we know hitting will only get you so far. Let's talk about pitching for a second. And Justin Honeycutt, one of the top returners on the staff, what's his role going to be, and flesh out that staff a little bit for us?
Yeah, Justin had a great sophomore year, and a lot of it was out of the bullpen. We kind of mirrored what the Tampa Bay Rays did a little bit, and we kind of split up Saturdays. We called it Dougie Cut, and it was Ryan Douglas would start and give us 4 or 5 innings, and then Justin Honeycutt would come in and pitch the remaining 4 or 5 innings. And obviously with the loss of Jacob Edwards, who was a Big South first team all-conference in our Sunday starter, I think we're going to have to split them up and let both of them start on the weekends now. So, Justin Honeycutt is one of the most competitive people I've ever met, whether it's on the mound, playing cornhole, whatever it may be. The kid wants to win, and that is what his separator is amongst our staff. I mean, because if you look at his body, if you look at his velo, he shouldn't be doing or having the success he has at this level, but his competitive nature is what puts him over the top. So the hard part now, Mark, is since we're going to separate them, who in the bullpen is going to be the ones that step up? It's going to have to be your Blake Little, your Dawson Salters, who last year had great years, but now your Chris Sabo. And then we have a transfer, Justin Needles from Elon, and then some of those now sophomores and Isaac Williams, Cole Schiff, and Jacob Williams need to really step up and get into those roles for us.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing that come together. Now, when that comes together, you've got a gauntlet in terms of the conference schedule. That's true every year. What do you have for non-conference opposition this year?
We're opening up at home against Sacred Heart out of Connecticut. Then we go on the road to Eastern Kentucky, which will be obviously a really good challenge for us. And then we're back home against UMass out of the A-10, which will be a very good challenge. And then the last one is Iona out of New York. And then the hard part, Mark, is this, living in Charlotte. Living in Asheville, it's one of the greatest places in the world, but there are no easy teams to play around here. So all of our, midweek non-conferences, ETSU, Wofford, who was the SoCon champion, Western Carolina, Tennessee, Charlotte. So our non-conference schedule is always a gauntlet, like you said, and it's a good challenge, but those Tuesday games are a good chance to see if some of these younger pitchers can come up and start helping us on the weekend as well.
Well, we wish you and all the Bulldogs the best of luck as you navigate that schedule, and good luck with your final preparations for the year. And thanks again for your time.
Thanks, Mark, and thanks to the Big South for getting this going with the baseball. And we can't wait to get going in a few days here.